jury reached a verdict?
Yes, we have.
Question 1. Was the hospital of Dr. Platt negligent in the death of Mary Quill? Now see.
We, the jury, find Dr. Platt and the hospital.
Has the jury reached a verdict?
Yes, we have, Your Honor.
Negligent in the death of Mary Quill. Now see. Question 1. Was the hospital or Dr. Platt negligent in the death of Mary Quill?
The jury find Dr. Platt and the hospital.
Has the jury reached a verdict?
Yes, we have, Your Honor.
Question 1. Was the hospital or
We, the jury, find Dr. Platt and the hospital guilty of negligence.
Yes. Welcome to Mr. Sauce. Hey, my guest today is nobody, because nobody can go anywhere. So I'm going to come up with a nice simple recipe for spaghetti and meatballs where you have limited supplies because it's hard to get to the grocery store. All my ingredients are out here, but the good thing is none of it requires toilet paper. Boom! So now we're going to make the meatballs. I've got just a pound of organic ground beef in here and 1 egg. As you can see, I'm going to add breadcrumbs. Organic breadcrumbs are preferred. If you've got old bread at home, you can always use that too. See, careful measuring here. Salt, pepper, a little garlic salt, not too much, and some parsley flakes here. And now it's time to get your hands dirty. You got to get in there and mix this all up now. So I'm still mixing, but I'm going to add a few more breadcrumbs because I can just feel it. It's an inexact science. You can kind of feel it's a little moist. And then I'm going to add a little bit more parsley. Now my mom, when she made meatballs, she used to actually taste it before you cooked it, but I'm not that brave. So I'm going to keep mixing here and then the meatballs will be ready. This is really a perfect recipe if you're going to be home for a day, 2, 3 months, 6 months, who knows? This will be a good way to have some comfort food that's healthy. And if you're a vegetarian, you can bypass the meatball part. We'll get to the sauce part in a minute. Okay, so now the meatballs are mixed, I'm getting ready to roll them into actual meatballs. But first you gotta do is you gotta put the olive oil in your frying pan, get it ready so when you roll the meatballs, you can put them right in the pan and they'll start cooking momentarily. Now we start rolling the meatballs, whatever size you like. I usually make a couple of small ones to start. Those will be my testers. Time to make the sauce. Now I use these Bianco tomatoes. It's a local pizza maker, amazing chef, and all around great guy. These are like you can eat them out of can. This is the next best thing to actually doing the tomatoes from scratch, which in these times is hard to find. So Bianco tomatoes or whatever you have. These are crushed tomatoes. They can be whole, whatever you like. Very simple. We do this. Now if you don't have a garden, you can use some basil here. But we actually do have a garden. So I've got real basil, and I'm gonna throw that, just break it into little flakes. Get it into the pan for some flavor. It's very simple. And if you're a vegetarian, this is the sauce. Let's just do this in the pasta without the meatballs. But I like the meatballs. So now, there's the sauce. I'm gonna just turn it on and let it do its thing while I cook the meatballs. Okay, so like you and your guests are gonna love this. Oh, wait a minute, you can't have any guests. Now that the sauce has been put on, I can start the meatballs. So I'm just gonna get them at a nice sizzle here. It'll take a couple minutes, and once it gets sizzling, we'll go to the next step. Now the meatballs are in the olive oil, starting to sizzle, as you can hear. I love that sound. Now I always said earlier, I make a couple of small ones. So I'm gonna take 2 and I flatten them out. So those are gonna be the tasting meatballs. 1 for me and 1 for my producer. You gotta take care of the producer. You gotta always taste your meatballs. Closer, getting closer, starting to smell them a little bit. Okay, so it's time to smell the meatballs. Wait a minute, I can't smell anything. Oh, I got my mask on. Ah, by the way, a shout out to Nancy Sell who made these masks for Carol and I. Thanks, Nance. Now I'm gonna smell the meatballs. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. So now the meatballs are starting to brown, we got to add them to the sauce. I like to get them a little bit brown on all sides. And then we get them in the soy. Okay, so now I've got the flattened out one. I cut it in half, make sure it's cooked all the way through. You got to give it the taste test. Make sure it's good for everybody else. Oh yeah, and then I like to put it in the sauce. I'll know what it's going to taste like in another half hour. Oh, smells good. Yeah, man.
Dom, that smells really good.
Thanks, man. Wish you could be here in person.
I can smell it all the way over here.
Hey, man, you gotta taste this.
Wow. Oh. The distancing is just working wonderfully.
Out of dunk.
Hey, Dom.
Yeah.
I'm still working on it.
Yeah, keep working on it, man. So we said we're gonna do spaghetti and meatballs, so I got some organic spaghetti. I've got the water boiling. I'm gonna add a little olive oil to the water for good measure. And I'll salt it in a second. And then it's just, you can do this with any kind of pasta. But tonight I'm doing spaghetti. Cook as much as you like for leftovers. I'm just gonna cook the whole pot. So, it's in the pan. Remember, never leave your pasta. Boom! So, stirring the sauce now, putting the sauce in with the pasta. I put it back on the warm burner. That helps the sauce stick to the pasta. I learned that on an episode of The Sopranos when Ralphie was cooking pasta. So this gets the sauce to stick, and then when you go to dish it out, you put more sauce on with the meatballs. But that's enough to keep it nice and moist. So now I've dished out my spaghetti, my meatballs. Now I'm just going to add a little fresh grated organic parm. That's what I'm talking about. Now it's time to eat. Boom! Work is done, time to eat. That's what I'm talking about.
Mi va pone mi altuia me sia me ninja ba wako we wako we wako we wako we
Okay, so now dinner's over. I'm putting the leftovers together. I like to separate the meatballs from the pasta in case I just want meatballs or I just want pasta. So I'll do it in my way. And all of us, I think it's just time for us all to just make the best out of this situation. spend some time practicing, spend some time talking to friends, eating pasta, cooking pasta, eating healthy, and get through this together. And we'll come out on the other side. And I'll see you again with another Mr. Sauce. Boom!